Everyone has the words. Yes, yes. Okay.
It's too high for me.
It's an area light, so it picks up as long as you're singing towards it, it will pick up. Okay? You don't have to sing right into it. Some microphones you have to sing right into. This
Like
one is at the general
this.
pick.
Like this. Like that. Like that. Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me, each time you hear a sad guitar. Know that I'm with you the only way that I can be, until you're in my arms again. Remember me. Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I'll sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me, each time you hear a sad guitar. Know that I'm with you the only way that I can be, until you're in my arms again. Remember me.
How sweet was that? Thank you so much, Children's Choir. Good morning, and welcome to First Parish in Brookline, a Unitarian Universalist congregation. It's good to see each and every one of you here this morning. Whether this is your first or 101st time in the sanctuary, we hope you'll find it a safe and loving home where you can bring your authentic self to connect with others, exploring life's big questions. My name is Ann Copeland. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm your worship associate this morning. Our service will be led by our fellow church member, Elizabeth McIntire. Immediately after our service today, everyone's invited to the social hour through here to my left, your right. Please come say hello after the service. We would love to see you all. We have two announcements from Michaela and Susie.
Good morning, I'm Peter.
Hi, I'm Michaela.
And we're inviting you to come to Pumpkin Fest at Lincoln School right down the road. And there's very good fun games and haunted houses and very good Japanese food.
Yes, fun for all ages. This is Lincoln School's annual fundraiser. For kids, there's carnival games, face painting, cakewalk. And for adults, yes, our amazing Japanese families make incredible homemade food. There'll be a grill going on. And if you haven't gotten your pumpkin yet, there are pumpkins for sale. So come on over.
When is it?
Today from 12 to 4, right across the street at Lincoln School.
Good morning. I'm Susie.
And I'm Annalie.
And we are here because we want to remind you that our community dance is happening on November 8th. That is
In 2 weeks.
yes. And today, after church, I will be sitting at a table with purple spiders on it. And I will be writing down or having you write down your favorite songs to dance to. We want to make sure that the community dance is really representative of the community. And so we are going to build
So we're going to build community with everyone and have lots and tons of fun.
using the songs that you guys put on the paper. I will not guarantee to play every song. We will be checking it for appropriateness of all ages. However, we will do our best to create a playlist that is representative of our community.
Please come.
And please bring me your songs. Otherwise, you'll be forced to listen to music that Annalie and I like best. And that may or may not be your thing.
Sounds fun. One note about today's order of service. We will hear both Laura Walters and Meryl Petchy's testimonials before the offering. Once again, welcome one and all to First Parish this morning. It's a blessing to be together.
Good morning. Our call to worship this morning comes from poet Andrea Gibson's Love Letter from the Afterlife. My love, I was so wrong. Dying is the opposite of leaving. When I left my body, I did not go away. That portal of light was not a portal to elsewhere, but a portal to here. I am more here than I ever was before. I am more with you than I ever could have imagined. So look past me, so close. You look past me when wondering where I am. It's okay. I know that to be human is to be farsighted. But feel me now, walking the chambers of your heart, pressing my palms to the soft walls of your living. Why did no one tell us that to die is to be reincarnated in those we love while they are still alive? Ask me the altitude of heaven, and I will answer, how tall are you? Please join us in our opening hymn, Number 402 in your gray hymnal.
Come light the chalice. And please all join in reading our community's covenant, first in Spanish, then in English. Nos entregamos y nos comprometemos a caminar juntos como congregación, prometiendo con mucha fe cuidarnos mutuamente y deleitarnos en el amor que permanecerá entre nosotros. We give ourselves one unto another, covenanting to walk together as a congregation, promising faithfully to watch over one another and to delight for love to abide in our midst. And now Kay will share a story with all those young at heart, after which we'll sing our children out to their RE classes.
Hello, everyone. I'm really excited for this worship service today. I think this is one of those services that makes us really understand why we're here together as a church community. So I wanted to share a story that I think tells us a little bit about what we're doing here. This is a story by Tim Atkins that I've edited a little bit. And I have two special jobs for you to help me tell this story. So whenever I say boom, I want everybody to shout boom. So let's practice. Boom. Oh my goodness, amazing. Whenever I say the word sanctuary, I want you to whisper sanctuary. Yeah, let's practice again. Sanctuary. Incredible. So once upon a time, there was a little girl. She was walking home and she was meeting up with her family after school. And she got caught outside in a sudden rainstorm. So she didn't want to get wet, so she dashed into the nearest shop to wait out the rain. And just as she closed the door, there was a flash of lightning and a loud boom of thunder. Inside the shop, she looked around nervously. She wasn't sure what to do. She needed to get to her family. And a shopkeeper appeared, an old woman with snowy white hair and a kind, wrinkled face. "Did you run in to escape the rain?" the old woman asked. The girl nodded. Another boom shook the walls. "Well," said the shopkeeper, "you can wait here in my little sanctuary. Safe and dry." The girl hesitated. She liked being dry, but she needed to keep going. "Or," said the shopkeeper, "you could take this." And from behind the counter, she pulled out an umbrella. "Take this umbrella," she said. "I don't know why it's raining, but you can stay dry under this portable sanctuary." The girl smiled and then frowned. "I don't have any money." The shopkeeper waved her hand. "No worries, just pass it on to somebody else who needs help." So the little girl opened her new umbrella and stepped outside, warm, dry, safe from the rain. Soon he saw a man in a suit trying to stay dry, but he just had a newspaper over his head. Another boom. And the newspaper started to fall apart. So she ran over and she held the umbrella over his head. "Thank you," he said. He was surprised. "I don't know why it's raining," said the girl, "but you can stay dry under this portable sanctuary." The man smiled. He was on his way to a very important job interview and had been worried about showing up soaked. The girl spotted her family across the street, and she said, "Take the umbrella, just pass it on when someone else needs it." Then she ran off. The man did get that job. And afterward, every time it rained, he carried extra umbrellas, one for himself and a couple to give away. And whenever he handed one to someone in need, he would say, "I don't know why it's raining, but you can keep dry under this portable sanctuary." And soon everyone in town did the same. And if you go to that town, who knows where it is, on a rainy day, you will hear people handing each other umbrellas saying, "I don't know why it's raining, but you can keep dry under this sanctuary." Now, I think that this story is a lot about us. Sanctuary is where we are. It's what we call this room, but it's also who we are as a community. We don't always know why bad things happen, but we are here so that we can offer one another a little bit of comfort and then take that comfort and pass it along to others in our world. We are a sanctuary in the pouring rain. Thank you. Come on, kids, let's go out into the other room.
We invite you now to join in a ritual designed to lift up those people whose lives have touched us and whose memory we cherish and want to honor. As October ends, we enter a time of year, some people believe, when the veil between the living and the dead thins, and we may feel closer to those who have died. We embrace this opportunity to remember with intention and gratitude those friends and family members who have gone before us. Our ritual includes two components. First, an honoring of members of the First Parish community who have died, resting our attention briefly on their names with love for their role in making First Parish what it is today. And second, an honoring of anyone we, member and newcomer alike, are thinking of, especially today. This might be a friend, family member, co-worker, or a pet. We invite you to light a candle in their memory, and after the service, to record their name in our memory book, which will be a permanent part of our history at First Parish. We'll begin seated and all sing Spirit of Life. Then as Keith continues on the piano, the names of dear First Parish members who have died will appear here on a scrolling scroll. You may not remember or have known all of these people, but please join us in honoring each one as former beloved members of this community that we share. As the names are presented, we invite any of you who are carrying in your hearts today someone who has died, recently or long in the past, to come forward to this table with candles in 2 lines and silently light a candle in their honor. The person need not be known to anyone here except you. This is a space to share our losses within this community's loving arms. After the service, please write your name in this memory book, which will be right behind the piano over on this side of the sanctuary during the postlude. When our scroll of names and candlelighting are complete, we'll sing the words to Spirit of Life one last time. Except for the singing and piano music, this will be a silent ritual. We invite you to share details of who is in your heart at the coffee hour after the service. Just one final personal note. I so treasure you, this small band of hearty souls that make up our First Parish community. Now, especially walking together, joining hands and hearts as we venture into uncertain times, I take solace in knowing that I'm not alone. May we be here for each other now and in the future, and may we continue to garner strength from those who walked before us.
Good morning. How's that volume? Okay. I'm just asking now before. Okay. That was really beautiful. Thank you. I'm Meryl Pecci. I use she, they pronouns. I'm here to give a little testimonial about the Newton Brookline Asylum Resettlement Coalition. So we just got done with this really beautiful healing piece about community and love, and I want to kind of take a moment to think about where we can put all this love we're feeling right now. So I'm a former immigration paralegal and a current library worker who grew up in cities with large immigrant populations. I'm extremely passionate about this work as I've gotten to know hundreds of foreign nationals who came here either for a dream or to seek refuge. I'm what I call a lurking member of the Immigration Justice Committee. I try to participate where I can with my busy schedule. But this summer, an opportunity opened up to tutor ESL with NBARC. I was really nervous, truthfully felt pretty underqualified, but after speaking with Jenny and learning about the student, who was a father from Nicaragua, a place where I've been and formed community, I decided I would give it a try. I frantically researched and assembled lesson plans, paid for a course on ESL tutoring, just learned through trial and error, all while getting to know this extremely kind, patient man with an infectious smile and an eagerness to learn English so that he could help customers at the grocery store that he works at. He also confessed he wants to understand the lyrics to his favorite songs by Cyndi Lauper and Madonna. And I think that is equally, if not more important. I'm being honest about my vulnerability and even imposter syndrome in this task because I think it is very relatable. Unfortunately, so is hopelessness. I understand feeling burnt out, even nihilistic, and like the fascism cascading over us right now is an impossible enemy. I understand being under-resourced, but plenty caring. I'm a high-stress human being by nature, and the news definitely doesn't help. And there's a point to this confession, I promise. We've had a lot of sermons recently on the importance of having hope. So I want to take this time in endorsing NBARC's work to also tell you that maintaining hope is not only important, it is doable. It is imperfect, and it is impactful. And I believe NBARC does such great work because they know this. NBARC embodies my favorite kind of community work, on-the-ground mutual aid. Every call to action email that hits my inbox is answered by a human eager to help, but also holding stress. Care for our neighbors keeps them going. Every need for a ride or an errand or a home visit is communicated by tireless organizers who have made homes for these gracious and courageous families. Empathy keeps them going. Putting faces to the cause, seeing someone conjugate verbs flawlessly one day, bringing them to an appointment, helping in small ways, feeding and housing people are rewarding moments of humanity and critical reminders. Life-saving reminders to immigrant families that someone does care, that they have people fighting for them right now, and reminders to us why we need to keep fighting. Do you know how brave and how scary it is to ask someone for help? Supporting coalitions and lending any hand you can, even if it is one time, even if it is one offering, makes a visible, tangible, and meaningful difference in someone's life. NBARC does amazing work. These people are truly so awe-inspiring to me. I urge you to consider supporting them today and also to be kind to yourself and remember not to put distance between yourself, your immigrant neighbors, and the people who seem like heroes when you might feel tired and small. The reality is, change doesn't just happen by a few people doing the absolute most. It's everyone doing something. NBARC is a prime example of a collective doing what they can, when they can, with the tools and privilege they possess in the spirit of community, with the knowledge that all help counts. Wherever you are, however you show up, even in a small moment, makes you a part of NBARC's work. It makes you a part of putting a smile on someone's face, alleviating the burden of their very real fears, and providing relief in a new country that tries to tell them they're not wanted, that lies to them saying they don't belong. So let's let our love, our collective, grow stronger than the threat of abuse these families face. It is doable, it is imperfect, and it is impactful. So I ask that today, if you can, consider some extra generosity for NBARC's cause and our offering so people like my student can continue getting the support they need for their families and supporting Madonna's discography. So thank you.
Hello, Laura Walters, she, her. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk about my Italian immigrant grandparents who were the most important part of my life and who I think about every single day. I think it's such a fitting thing that we had the first part of the service about remembering, tying in with immigrants, because such a large part of the immigrant story is about loss and grieving what is gone and trying to find joy in the memories. That was certainly true for my Nana, and I'd like to tell you her story. I've been waiting to tell this story my whole life, and I've told some of it to many of you. You might wonder why my husband's not here. I told him he couldn't come because he cries the minute I start talking about my grandparents, and I don't want to start to cry. So my grandparents came from the northern part of Italy in the second wave of Italian immigrants. My grandfather came first in 1920. He left behind my Nana, who was 16 years old, engaged to him. And the plan was to wait till she was 18 and he would send for her. I think of her all the time, of how incredibly brave she was to come alone and how much she loved my grandfather to leave everybody else she loved. And never did she think she would never see them again. My grandparents lived in a 5th floor walk-up, and they never owned a car, they never owned a washing machine. My Nana worked in a sweatshop from the time she was 18 till she was 62. She sent money back, and she saved money to help us go to college and to also go back to see her family. I went and slept over my grandparents' house every Saturday night. We would start out at my other grandparents, who were, by the way, just as wonderful, who lived on the same street, and I would walk down the block to the apartment building. We would make my grandfather sleep on the couch, and I would sleep with my Nana, and she would tell me all about her family and how much she loved them and how much she missed them and how it was the dream of her life that I should meet them. She wrote to them every month, and she got a letter from them every month, and she wrapped the letters in a blue ribbon, and she put it in her break front, which I own. And every time I opened that break front, I smell her, and I think of her taking those letters out and sitting in the corner and reading them. I luckily got to meet them. In 1979, I was in Italy with Jake doing my research for my dissertation, and we went up there. By that point, the only ones left were my Nana's brother-in-law and her nieces, who she had never met. And her nieces were the same age as my father and my aunt. We walked into the apartment, and there was a picture of my father, the same exact picture that my grandparents had in their apartment. And it smelled exactly like my Nana's apartment. And they made me a fabulous meal that tasted just like her meal. And at the end of the meal, my great uncle said to his grandson, "Get the box." And he came out with a huge box this big. And we started to go through the box. And it was all pictures of me and my sisters and my parents and my aunt and my cousins, and they knew everything about us. This is you when you were 10. This is your sister, she's a teacher. This is your other sister, she paints. And then they told us about the war. Northern Italy was anti-fascist from the start. My great uncle was in the underground. He fought the fascists. He was captured twice by the Nazis and taken to prisoner of war camp, and he got away both times. The family had to live underground. They lived in caves. And at the end of the war, they had nothing and they were starving. And one day they said they got a note from the post office that said, you have a package for you. And they went, and it was 100 pounds of dried milk. And the next day it was 100 pounds of rice. And then with tears streaming down their faces, they talked about when the coats came and the color of the coats and what the buttons looked like on the coats. And then my cousin, who was 16 at the end of the war, said a package came just for her, and it was 16 lipsticks and 16 nail polishes just for her. And with tears streaming down their faces, they said, tell your Nonna she saved our lives. So I went back and told my Nonna that. I said, Nonna, you never told me any of this. And she said in her little Italian accent, which I can't replicate, well, on the one hand, it was so easy to do because it was only money. And on the other hand, it was so hard to do because it was the money I was saving to go back, and I knew I'd never see them again. About the same time, an immigrant family moved upstairs from my grandparents, a Czech woman and father. They had 2 kids who went to school, and they had a baby. The father worked all day, and the mother worked in a bakery all night. So the only way she could sleep is if somebody watched the kids. So every day, my 80-year-old grandfather walked those children to and from school, no matter what the weather was. And then they watched the baby all day while the mother slept. And when I met the mother, she put her arms around my Nonna and said in her totally broken English, "This, my mother." And I said to my Nonna, "You're so good to these people." And she said, "I know what it's like to be in a strange country without a mother." And so when I found about Embark, I knew what I had to do. I had to be a mother to these families who came and who had no mother. And frankly, I do so little. I take them to the doctors, I take them to the food pantry, I pick the children up from school. I do so very little. And on the days when I am overwhelmed by the enormity of the need, the enormity of the pain, I wake up and I say to myself, "Laura, who are you kidding? Does it really matter? Anything that you're doing, does it really matter?" And then I think about a story I heard in this very sanctuary 35 years ago. And when you first hear this story, you think it's a simple story, a simplistic story, but I have learned to believe that it's the most profound story I've ever heard. And it keeps me going when I think I'm not doing enough. And you've probably heard this story, but it's worth saying again. There was a woman on a beach surrounded by starfish, hundreds and hundreds of starfish. And one by one, she was picking them up and throwing them back. And a man came up to her and said, "What are you doing? Look around you. Look at how many starfish there are. Don't you know that what you're doing just doesn't matter?" And she looks at the starfish in her hand and she says, "It matters to this one." Thank you.
Thank you, Meryl and Laura, for putting into such vivid words the experience of immigration. Now we invite your generosity to support the important work of Embark, which will receive our whole collection this morning. You can donate cash or by check made out to Temple Beth Zion, which is our fiduciary link to Embark, or at Temple's webpage. See the QR code to my left? There are instructions there. I think I won't read them. We'll leave them up. Or you could mail a check later, or if you miss this, please come to the Immigration Justice table at the end of the social hour, for help in donating in one of these ways. And to learn more about Embark and the families who are supporting our offering will now be gratefully received.
Would you harbor me? Would I harbor you? Would you harbor me? Would I harbor you? Would you harbor a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, a heretic, convict, or spy? Would you harbor a runaway woman or child, a poet, a prophet, a king? Would you harbor an exile or a refugee, a person living with AIDS? Would you harbor a Tubman, a carrot, a truth, a fugitive, or a slave? Would you harbor a Haitian, Korean, or Czech, a lesbian, or a gay? Would you harbor a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, a heretic, convict, or spy? Would you harbor a runaway woman or child, a poet, a prophet, a king? Would you harbor an exile or a refugee, a person living with AIDS? Would you harbor a Tubman, a parrot, a truth, a fugitive, or a slave? Would you harbor a Haitian, Korean, or Czech, a lesbian, or a gay? Would you harbor me? Would I harbor you? Would you harbor me? Would I harbor you? Would you harbor me? Would I harbor you?
Good morning, Ralph Child, he, him, a member of the parish board. And as a member of the parish board, I'm just here to say that the board appreciates that these gifts are a sign of your trust in us, even in directing these gifts to Embark, which the board heartily supported. We promise as a board to do our best, both to work to create a thriving community and to live our shared values. Thank you very much.
Thank you all so much for your generosity. Thank you, Laura, for sharing your story. Your Nana sounds amazing. Thank you, Meryl. It's really cool to hear you talk about imperfectly doing the work. Would you harbor me? Would I harbor you? Would you harbor me? Would I harbor you? At First Parish in Brookline, the answer is unequivocally yes. As I listen to fierce, compassionate advocacy demonstrated by our leaders, Laura Walters and Meryl Pecci, I am struck by Meryl's words. Every call to action email that hits my inbox is answered by a human eager to help, but also holding stress. Care for their neighbors keeps them going. I love how easily Meryl thinks about the humans who send and reply to those calls for action. There is so much need in our world right now, perhaps more need than I have ever consciously witnessed in my lifetime. There is need in those who ask for our help, need in those served by NBARC, and there is need here in our pews and those who do their best to respond to that need. Here at church today, we have demonstrated our capacity to meet both sides of that need. At the start of the year and when it ends, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live. In our remembrance ritual, we lift up those we knew and loved here in our community. My body hums with emotion as I think of those brilliant, beautiful souls who sat in the pews with us and are no longer here. Our children urge us to remember me. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me. Today's service is all about remembrance. It is right and good and important to remember our ancestors, our own First Parish members whom we mourn and remember with gratitude. With all there is to grieve in our world today, having a space in community where we might all gather together to feel the weight of our own mortality is essential. None of us can do this life alone. And then we step forward and we remember the work that Laura, and Meryl and our Immigration Justice Committee are doing, as well as the work done by countless others in this community. And I'm struck by these words in a different way. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me. All those served by NBARC are in need, and they aren't far away. They're right here in our community, and they are reaching out to us today and every day, urging us to remember those who are suffering, those who are scared, those who are threatened. The people served at NBARC are people like us, people who are simply doing their best to make their way in a difficult world. Unlike us, immigrants and asylum seekers find themselves persecuted en masse as a group. With no regard for their humanity. Our faith calls us to remember them. At the start of the year and when it ends, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live. As long as we give, they too will live. Beloveds, may we remember our ancestors. May we remember our own. May we remember that everyone inside and outside the walls of this sanctuary today is one of us. May we remember them. Blessed be. Amen. Let's all join in a hymn together. What are we singing, Keith? 159. 159.
I invite Julie Horvath to come extinguish our flame. As we say our unison affirmation. Apagamos esta llama para no la luz de verdad, ni el calor de la comunidad, ni el fuego del compromiso. Estos los llevamos con nosotros y los ofrecemos para bendecir al mundo. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, nor the fire of commitment. These we carry with us and offer as gifts unto the world.
Again from Andrea Gibson. My love, I want to sing it through the rafters of your bones. Dying is the opposite of leaving. I want to echo it through the corridor of your temples. I am more with you than I ever was before. Beloveds, go out, take all that we do here at church together with you. Know that as we support and lift up one another, we are renewed and restored to go out into this broken world and make it just a little bit better. Thank you.